So for today, I found a poem online that was getting passed around on Facebook, which was passed around in an article which said, "Can you pronounce this whole poem? Apparently 9 out of 10 people cannot." And I figured that might be a pretty good challenge. So I looked up the poem itself, just to get some information on the background, and I just sort of printed it off the internet. So, there you go. But the poem, to give credit where credit is due, is called The Chaos by Gerard Nolst Trenite. I'm probably butchering that. But it was written in 1920, and this man, I'll just call him Gerard because it's easier to pronounce than his last name. But Gerard was a Dutch writer, traveler, and teacher, and it was written for a textbook he was writing called Drop Your Foreign Accent, which I can only assume is about properly pronouncing English. And I know that back then, in the late Victorian era, early 1900s, speaking properly was kind of a big thing. So, and this version that I found is just the version that I found on Facebook that I printed out from the article that was being shared around Facebook. But there are other versions. So this version is 112 lines, but the original is 146, according to, when I just looked it up. And I'm assuming that this version removed bits that were obsolete, because, even in this version I found words that I never really hear used. So a lot of these words I kind of have to assume how to pronounce them based on context. So I'm probably going to stumble over this quite a bit. And there are multiple versions, in fact. I'm assuming this is the most recent version, which was written in the 90s and popularized then, but there are some versions as long as 274 lines. And it's said to include around 800 examples of irregular spelling. So, there we go. So, let me begin. Dearest creature in creation, study English pronunciation. I will teach you in my verse. Sounds like corpse, cores, horse, and worse. I will keep you, Susie, busy. Make your head with heat grow dizzy. Tear and eye your dress will tear. So shall I, oh hear my prayer. Just compare heart, beard, and herd, dyes and diet, lord and word. Sword and sward, retain and Britain, mind the latter, how it's written. Now I surely will not plague you with words such as plaque and ague, but be careful how you speak. Say break and stake, but bleak and streak. Cloven oven, how and low, script, receipt, show, poem, and toe. Hear me say, devoid of trickery, daughter, laughter, and terpsichore, typhoid, measles, topsails, isles, exiles, similes, and reviles, scholar, vicar, and cigar, solar, mica, war, and far. One anemone, balmoral, kitchen, lichen, laundry, laurel, Gertrude, German, wind and mind, scene, melpomene, mankind, Billet does not rhyme with ballet. Bouquet, wallet, mallet, chalet. Blood and flood are not like food, nor is mould like should and would. Viscous, viscount, load, and broad, toward, to forward, to reward. And your pronunciation's okay when you correctly say croquet. Rounded, wounded, grieve and sieve, friend and fiend, alive and live. Ivy, privy, famous, clamour, and enamor rhyme with hammer. River, rival, tomb, bomb, comb, doll and roll, and sum and home. Stranger does not rhyme with anger, neither does devour with clangor. Souls but foul, haunt but aunt, yes, haunt but aunt. Font, front, won't, want, grand and grant. Shoes, goes, does. Now first say finger, and then singer, ginger, linger. Real, zeal, mauve, gauze, gouge and gauge. Marriage, foliage, mirage and age. Query does not rhyme with very, nor does fury sound like berry. Dost, lost, post and doth, cloth, loth. Job, knob, bosom, transom, oath. Though the differences seem little, we say actual, but victual. Refer does not rhyme with defer. Foefer does, and zephyr. Heifer? Okay, I can see why this is so hard. Mint, pint, senate, and sedate. Dull, bull, and George ate late. Scenic, Arabic, Pacific. Science, conscience, scientific. Liberty, library, heave, and heaven. Rachel, ache, mustache, 11. We say hallowed, but allowed. People, leopard, toad, but vowed. Mark the differences, moreover, between mover, cover, clover. Leeches, breeches, wise, precise. Chalice, but police and lice. Camel, constable, unstable. Principal, disciple, label. Petal, panel, and canal. Wait, surprise, plate, promise, pal. Worm and storm. Chase, chaos, chair. Senator, spectator, mayor. Okay, last page. Tour but hour, and succor for. Gas, alas, and Arkansas. Sea, idea, Korea, area. Psalm, Maria, but malaria. Youth, south, southern, cleanse and clean. Doctrine, turpentine, marine. Or turpentine, I guess. Turpentine, marine. Compare alien with Italian. Dandelion and battalion. Sally with ally, yea and ye. I, way, and key. Okay, so I'm going to show you this one because it's I, A, I, way and key. Say aver but ever, fever. Neither leisure, skein, deceiver. Heron, greenery, canary. Crevice and device and airy. Face but preface, not efface. Phlegm, phlegmatic, ass, glass, base. Or I guess bass, if it's a fish. charge but target, gin, give, verging, out, ought, out, joust, and scour, scourging, ear but earn, and wear and tear, do not rhyme with hear but air. 7 is right, but so is even, hyphen, ruffin, nephew, Stephen, monkey, donkey, Turk and jerk, ask, grasp, wasp, and cork and work. Pronunciation, think of psyche, is a paling stout and spiky? Won't it make you lose your wits, writing groats and saying grits? It's a dark abyss or tunnel, strewn with stones, stowed solace, gumwall. Islington and Isle of Wight, housewife, verdict, and indict, finally, which rhymes with enough. Though, through, plow, or dough, or cough. Oh, that one was hard. Hiccough has the sound of cup. My advice is to give up. Okay, that was really hard, and I know I mispronounced a bunch of these words, particularly the ones that you don't hear every day. There are a bunch of words which, as I was reading this, I realized I have read in books many times, but never said aloud, you know, stuff like that. So it's interesting to go through this without, you know, I mean, at the beginning, like the first few lines, there's corpse, course, horse and worse, Susie, busy, tear and tear, and you're just like, okay, I can get this, I know all these words, and then you're on like the second and third page, and you're like, whatever. So, let me know if there are any words that you guys know for sure that I mispronounced, or even words that you pronounce differently, like when I came across, what was it? Gaunt but aunt, and I realized, oh, the guy who wrote this probably pronounces it ant. So anyway, yeah, tell me if there's something you pronounce differently, or something that I pronounced wrong, that, you know, or something I stumbled over that you guys know a proper pronunciation for. I'm going to include this poem on my Facebook page, and I always have a link to my Facebook page in the description, but I'll probably link to where I type this up on my Facebook page. I've started using that more to link to information based on the videos I make. So, for example, my last video was a video of my poems, and I posted a note with my poems so that you could read them while you watch the video. And I kind of like that as a link better than as just typing it up in the description, because this way you don't have to like scroll down through a giant description. If you want it, there's a link to it, you can find it, and if not, it doesn't make the description massive. So, anyway. Yep. This is, I put little numbers on the side because I wanted to find out how long this one is, but yep. 112 lines. And maybe I couldn't pronounce the whole thing, but you know what? I made it to the end. And oh, another thing. So I've mentioned in a few past videos interest in what words trigger people. And because there was a good array of different words, particularly with certain rhyme schemes and cacophony and stuff like that. So, I know that, from what I know, at least from my experience with ASMR, when there's more texture to a voice, either because of the way the voice is structured or due to the structure of what the person is saying, it kind of helps, it makes the ASMR stronger. So, for example, script receipt, or exiles, similes, scholar, vicar, cigar, vicar, Gertrude, melpomene, some of those like the P's and the T's and the B's, stuff like that, are gonna create more texture for a word, and that's gonna trigger me personally. But I want to know what you guys think and what kinds of words that you guys like in that regard, because not everyone is going to have the same preferences as I do, and I'm sort of fascinated behind the linguistics behind ASMR and tingles and what gives you this sort of response. My guess is, since it seems like the sounds that trigger people tend to be textured sounds, like the sound that I'm making with this paper right now. It's textured, so of course it would make sense that textured words would trigger. And if I can find words that, because it's different for each voice and each accent and stuff, I mean, I'm sure if someone else, like, you know, Heather Feather or Allie or one of the other ASMR artists were to read this poem, it would sound entirely different. And I encourage you guys to try this out, whether it's, you know, just ASMR or whatever kinds of videos you make. I think it would be interesting to hear other voices attempt this, especially with different accents. But anyway, so yes, what did I mispronounce? What do you pronounce differently? And what words or failed attempts at words did you guys particularly like? And yeah, that's gonna be it for today, and I will see you guys next time.